This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about the media is trying to destroy AJ Brown, also some potential moves in the NFC East, and lastly, we're going to give an update on DeVonta Smith foot injury, ankle injury, whatever it is. But let's get straight into it.
The game yesterday, and we're in that 4 minute. We get the onside kick, and we're in that 4 minute. I like the calls, but maybe I could have been more aggressive there. And that's just me being honest with you guys. Like that's something I'm always going to look at first, and then it goes into, are we putting the guys in positions to make plays, and then are the guys executing them? And so, but like I said, I'm always going to look at myself first, and that's where that's one thing we haven't been great on 4 minute offense, and that's me, right? That starts with me.
All right, so let's talk about AJ Brown and the media. The media is trying to destroy AJ Brown for whatever reason. So there's headlines in the Philadelphia Inquirer about AJ Brown and the coaching staff is destroying the Eagles, something in that matter. And this is why he don't want to talk to the media, because he don't want his words twisted and turned. And look, he didn't even say anything to the media, and he let the media know it's not them. It's not the fans. And look, the media is still trying to destroy him with headlines. But there is some people that read the article and I trust their word for it. So it's this fan page on Twitter called Eagles Nation. They mentioned that AJ Brown is not mad with the fans or the media. It's with the coaching staff. But there's also stuff in the article stating that his quote unquote energy is rubbing off on everybody in a negative way. And I don't like that he's being the sole guy pointed out, because think about it. Has Jalen Hurts had the best energy on the sideline? No. We see him constantly shaking his head at Brian Johnson or Nick Sirianni or going back and forth. Think of another leader, Hassan Reddick last week, going back and forth with Nick Sirianni. DeVonta Smith going back and forth with Nick Sirianni. I mean, why is AJ Brown being pointed out? Because at least DeVonta Smith is talking to the media. Some of these guys are at least talking to the media, but the media is putting it all on number 11, which is wrong. I think it's wrong on what they're doing. And again, that's why nobody wants to talk to the Philadelphia media. And that's why you have content creators on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, like different places besides the newspaper, because of headlines like that. And they was getting destroyed in the comments, by the way. Everybody saying like, look, we're with AJ Brown. We with him. Because again, I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip of Jason Kelsey just completely pissed.
Is this you had a couple leads?
Yeah. Next question.
Jason, late into the game, on that final drive, you guys got backed up first and 20.
Yeah.
What did you make of the play calls, and what did you make of the execution?
When we got
Back
after the holding call.
Yeah.
We're trying to run the ball and get positive yards. I think we had some plays that we just didn't execute, I guess, on. So obviously it didn't work out.
Now, let me go ahead and play a clip of AJ Brown completely pissed.
Can you tell us why? That would be talking. There's nothing to say.
I think you'll talk this week. You don't know.
It ain't directly towards y'all, so I just want to clear that up.
So you can't just put it all on one guy. As you see, both guys are just completely pissed. They're both. So I don't like what the media is doing. He's not giving them a story, which I like. And look, I said this on Twitter as well. I said that the only way, and this might sound crazy, the only way the Eagles can make a run is Jalen Hurts have to call the plays. That sound crazy. That sound insane. But that's the only way. Because, for example, if it's a 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20, Jalen Hurts has to audible out that type of stuff. He got to call it off, go against Nick Sirianni and win the game. I know a couple weeks ago they tried to blame Jalen Hurts up front for the play calling, but Jalen Hurts' energy is showing that he doesn't agree with the play call. He just following commands. I'm not putting it on Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts, you're not going anywhere. They paid you a lot of money. Go against what some of these coaches are saying, audible out that stuff. You got DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown. And speaking of DeVonta Smith, let's talk about him. It was a screen pass to him during the game. The most conservative thing we could ever do on the 3rd and 17. Throw a screen pass to Kendrick Gainwell and kick the field goal. Don't go for the win. Obviously, the defense can't stop a nosebleed. And during that process, they got DeVonta Smith as the lead blocker again. Somebody rolled up on his ankle, and it looked bad. But what's coming from Ian Rappaport is that it's just a mild ankle sprain. It'd be interesting if they let him play against the Giants. I think even with the playoff seeding on the line, I think they should let him sit. Let him get a week rest and just rock with who we rock with. And if the Cowboys are blowing out the Commanders, like at half or something like that, let the starters sit. But if the game is close, let the starters play, but still sit DeVonta Smith. So it's good. It's not long term. It's not like he's going to miss time. So when you see a guy in a walking boot and crutches, yeah, more than likely they're going to be out for some time. But in this case, DeVonta Smith will be just fine. But stuff like that, coaching staff getting our players hurt. Think about the 2 players that got hurt for most of the season, what they doing. DeVonta Smith been on the injury report for a knee injury almost all year, but he's been playing. But you got him lead blocking. Jalen Hurts with a knee injury all season. You got him doing QB draws. Who is causing these injuries? It got to be the coaching staff. And that's why I like guys like A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith, and even Dallas Goedert is upset. Dallas Goedert has probably like 500-600 yards. You got a 1,000-yard rusher in the backfield and DeAndre Swift. You got 1,500 yarder and A.J. Brown and 1,000-yarder and DeVonta Smith. And you can't make the offense work with the same O-line, and the offense can barely work. Or you're so conservative with the offense, and then you're conservative with the offense like we got a great defense, in which we don't. We don't at all. So, again, back to the media. The media is trying to destroy that one guy because he won't give him a story. It's that plain and simple. But speaking of the media, let's go to the bigger media, bigger than the Philadelphia media. Let's talk about Josina Anderson. She put out a tweet like there's going to be some changes in the NFC East. And it's interesting this comes out after these articles talking about the Eagles coaching staff, because we already know something might change in Washington. Possibly, I would say possibly in New York. Nothing's probably changing in Dallas. I say those two, but I believe the big change that she's talking about is in Philadelphia. And I think she want to be careful because even though she was right about the Alshon Jeffrey and the Carson Wentz thing, she probably don't want to get bashed. So she's probably being careful with her tweet. And I think there is going to be some changes. But it would be interesting if they make an offensive change this late in the season going into the playoffs. It will be really interesting because I don't see them firing their head coach going into the playoffs. But I do see them taking away play calling duties from Brian Johnson, which is, to me, is somewhat unfair because I don't think he's calling his offense. I think he has Nick Sirianni's offense and he's trying to work with what he could work with. But the situational football, did you watch the college game? That's the type of offense we're calling. We're calling QB draws on game-winning situations or game-tie situations, which is causing us to lose. Think about it. Think about the three of these teams we lost to. The Jets because of bad situational play calling. The Seahawks because of bad situational calling. And the Cardinals. We lost some doozies this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had to change it up. If we got to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers I think we're going that way, and I believe we can win that game. Believe we can. And to me, it don't even matter if we at home or away, because we got blown out at home. We lost a close one to the Arizona Cardinals, so it doesn't even matter if we're home or away at this point. We just gotta find ways to win. And I told you, the only way we can do it is Jalen Hurts got to take control of the play call. He needs more control of the play caller. But again, shout out to Josina Anderson putting this out, because I think changes are going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. If not now, it's definitely going to happen during the offseason, because that's going to be the story. The biggest collapse in NFL history. We started off 10-1, about to end the season, what, possibly 11 wins? It's not good. It's not good. Or maybe 12 if we could beat the Giants. Maybe. But this is a collapse unless we pick it up. Do our thing in the playoffs. But let's try to run the table, man. I'm still holding on to faith because I'm still an Eagles fan. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? DeVonta Smith, we can breathe. He will be fine, at least for the playoffs. Also, the media is trying to bash A.J. Brown, which is not cool, and the Josina Anderson story. But this is Eagle Al. I'm out.